So Steven Crowder interviewed a furry at some point, and I guess this is somebody else's re-upload of this. I wonder if it's with commentary or not. So yeah, okay, here's the original. This is a crazy fucking thumbnail. Why? Okay, I have this question with a lot of very obviously like conservative people. Why put their fucking Twitter username in the thumbnail, right? Unless the point is to direct traffic towards them. Like, why do that? Like, why is that such a consistent thing with these people?
Here are the other $4.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess Olivia, you can censor that, I guess. Like, that's such a weird...
And that's kind of what my parents did. They know.
Yeah.
And they're actually very supportive.
Yeah.
With this single question in this crazy debate. As Steven Crowder takes on this student, this debate shows exactly why the woke left is such a danger to young people because of all the mental illnesses that are coming out of it. Let's get in.
Okay, who's the fucking president right now? I'm sorry. The most, like, prolific pedophile president right now.
Do view themselves as quasi-animals, right? You say in the community?
They exist in the community. None of my friends personally fall into that category, but a very small portion do have, like, they say they have a spiritual connection.
Yeah, or a sexual one. Like you said, it's not an insignificant portion. Do you speak out against it a lot? Do you feel that you're tarred and you're kind of lumped in with the same lot? Because that it is incumbent. If you're just saying like, hey, it's a costume and it's art. You know, I like Halloween. We do sketches. But when you have a chorus of people saying, hey, this is just as legitimate as heteronormative styles, by the way, we're tagging on with LGBTQ, isn't it incumbent?
Just as legitimate as heteronormative, in the sense that heteronormative people also fucking roleplay. Like, that's a fucking trope. Like, oh, I'm a nurse. Oh, I'm a firefighter. Like, who cares? You're still having sex with humans. Like, who cares?
Adam, any plans to watch the other two films?
Or like Star Trek characters.
Park Chan-wook's Vengeance trilogy? Also, what were your thoughts on Joint Security Area? P.S. Thank you for a detailed and lengthy TIFF 2025 video.
Cool Cat doesn't understand numbers. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll watch them at some point. I appreciate that. Joint Security Area. I enjoyed it. It was a good watch. Not as much as like other Park Chan-wook films I've seen, but yeah, like I think it was like a high 7. I'll watch it again. I'm just curious about this guy because in his thumbnail, it kind of seems like Crowder was going to ask him a different question.
Put upon you to say, no, that's kind of
And thank you, Alpha Dragon Wolf Warrior. Thank you.
degenerate to try and thrust a sexual preference like this into the public spotlight.
Thrust a sexual preference like this? What do you mean? What are you talking about? People can't express themselves? People can't express them? Like, if you're committing a sex act in public, that's bad whether it's furry or not, right? Being open about your sexual preferences in public? How is that bad? Is not like every fucking beer ad like there's attractive people in this ad and attractive people drink beer and you're showing what you think attractive people look like? Like showcasing your preference for what you find attractive, that exists publicly throughout all media. So you're just saying it's bad because it's different? Okay.
I mean, I'll say what most cases of that happening are in a private setting. Whatever they do is not my business, and so I would just leave it to them to do whatever.
Sure, but if someone is wearing it out in public.
Yeah.
If they're wearing it out in public and they're not fucking in it, who cares? Are you not allowed to wear like a schoolgirl clothing in public? Are you not allowed to wear nurse clothing in public? Are you not allowed to wear a business suit in public? All of those things are highly fetishized, right? Are you not allowed to wear plumbing costume? A plumber's garments? Is a woman not allowed to wear a bikini at a public beach? Like, Everything can be fetishized. Are you not allowed to be barefoot? Are you not allowed to have sandals in public? Just because something can be fetishized doesn't mean that it's only a fetish. Right? Identity correlates strongly with sexuality, but they are not the same thing. One influences the other in many cases, or they're both intertwined in many cases. Steven Crowder, do you find it, do you think that women are attracted to your beard? Do you think that women are attracted to a rugged, manly look? Should you keep that out of public? Do you dress to look attractive to women? Is that a fetish? Is that a fetish to dress to look attractive to women? Right? Who cares?
It is everyone else's business. Like, hey, why are you doing this? And
Wearing it out in public is one thing versus just, versus like
right, but it's associated with, you know, the destruction. You know this, right? I don't want to talk in circles on it. The destruction of heteronormative sex.
How does that destroy something? For someone to have a choice? The destruction. The destruction. Meanwhile, I'm saying what you do should not be allowed in public. That's not destruction. Or maybe they will say, oh yeah, it is destruction, but it's good destruction. What you do shouldn't be allowed in public in any form, regardless of whether or not you're doing anything sexual. You expressing yourself in any way should not be allowed in public. And he's talking to a guy that explicitly stated that for him it's not sexual, which there's tons of furries like that. There's tons of asexual furries. There's tons of furries who are not asexual, who also just don't find the furry thing attractive and just like cosplay. There's an entire spectrum of different people that exist on this planet. Do I think I've had a more straight-coated look than the one I'm wearing right now? Well, the hat does make me look kind of straight, but if you look underneath my headphones, I'm a little gay. I get to be everything. I'm amorphous.
Sexual behavior, and people are kind of on at the point where we're like, yeah, we're less accepting of it because.
Sorry, did he call it sexual? Okay, I'm kind of pissed that I'm watching this this commentary channel. That I'm assuming their only commentary is when this image is on the screen. They've made 5 seconds of commentary here, and then I guess a minute near the end. A minute, like, okay, yeah. There's like 2 minutes of commentary here in a 12-minute video. You're just re-uploading someone else's content. So I'll watch the original fucking thing. I was kind of curious about this because I only clicked on this video because this thumbnail's insane. Because it implies that the question that Steven Crowder asks him is, you like to freak animal? That's what the implication was. I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this video. And then this weird tweet that is clearly edited where you've probably... Okay, I'm just gonna confirm this on my end. I wonder if that's even someone's real... Okay. Well, that URL, if I searched it correctly, does not lead to a real Twitter account. So I guess you don't have to censor anything, Olivia. But it's a fake tweet. Okay, and also, okay, yeah, this is a different fursuit. This is a different fursuit in the thumbnail, too. That's a different fursuit. But they're pretending as if he went on Twitter later to say, "Frack you, Steven Crowder, a-hole." And then they're both in hell with flames. So that's why I clicked on it. And I guess I learned my lesson. I'm just going to see what the hell else this fucking guy is. Are all of his thumbnails that crazy? Does he get any fucking views? The word fucking is in the past 5 videos in the thumbnail. Race war erupts on podcast. Fuck. It's insane how many of the exact same fucking channels there are. Like, none of this is... Look, and almost every single one of his thumbnails, there's like a fake tweet. Like a fake tweet in the center. There's so much going on in here. Oh my god. Jesse Lee Peterson clashes with woke Tommy Chong.
That's amazing.
Are you on Jesse Lee Peterson's side? Because didn't he get revealed to be like a predator? And gay? Again, there's like no commentary. And look, 6 minutes through the fucking 11-minute video, his microphone shows up. Oh, fuck. Might as well be AI. Might as well be AI. God. Anyway, let's watch the actual fucking thing. Jesus Christ. All right, where's the furry part? Oh, this is lengthy. Most replay. Everybody just came for the furry. Came for the furry.
What you want to see in the future of Change My Mind. As for right now, on to this. The thing.
Is he still using music from like Poppy or whatever that artist name is? All right.
The camera. I know it's going to be hard to navigate with the mascot head.
I would say if you ever find yourself at a place where there's a dishonest conservative grifter type holding a microphone at a table, don't do it in your fursuit.
What's your name, sir? Can you spell it?
Take off the head.
For the camera, just say you consent to talking.
Yeah, Twistle, Twystal.
Okay. Is this your furry name or your biological name?
Furry. I prefer not to.
Okay. But you do consent to sitting down and discussing, and you're not going to go to YouTube and say, that's not really me?
No.
Okay, all right. So Crystal, I don't know how from... Twistle?
Twistle, yeah.
Twistle. Does that have any significance, like the name, or is it just a cool name?
Yeah, so it comes from my interests, which are geology, meteorology. I really enjoy those, so it's Twister plus Crystal. You can see we're in a tornado shirt.
Oh, okay. What kind of owl is that?
Huh?
Do you know what kind of owl that is?
I don't know.
No?
I just thought it was a cool shirt.
I like owls. You know, the owls, the thing that's cool about them, if you ever actually seen them, if you ever actually watched them catch a rodent, they can be completely silent on approach.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Did you ever see the movie Guardians of Ga'Hoole?
I haven't.
It's awesome.
My fursona name is Mayor Brian Wind Dancer.
Still say to this day the best animation. Sorry, I'm tired, so I'm a little scattershot. Twistle, I don't know how familiar you are with this series or these installments. What we do, let me just kind of set you at ease. It's not designed to be gotcha score points on the topic at hand. This was pre-Debate Bro, pre-YouTube Shorts when it started, and clips. Like, it'll be uploaded, you know, provided we both have a conversation in good faith in its entirety, so you'll not be taken out of context, even if it's a controversial topic. So this topic right now, obviously the switch shift, is I think that in 2025, considering the abysmal failure, the corruption is beyond repair, we absolutely need to wholesale, cut, snap, done, and if anything, put something else in its place. If you disagree.
If anything, put something else in its place, although that's not necessary. Just cutting it is the important part. So this was 3 weeks ago when there were a lot of people on the internet just fucking like getting mad at AI videos of black people spending Snap money in ways that they shouldn't. And then also some not AI... Were there even videos or just like screenshots of people being like, why can you buy lobster with Snap or something? But the argument that many Americans, I guess, fall for is that there should be no social support system for poor people. Or that the government is just so bad and incompetent, even though the fact, you know, Trump's running the government right now. But it's just so bad and incompetent. Didn't Doge show up to make it more efficient? Whatever happened to that? But it's so bad and incompetent that we should dismantle it altogether instead of trying to fix it. Which just doesn't make any sense. Like, try to fix it, maybe.
Twistle, you're welcome to change my mind.
I mean, I don't know much about this topic, so I would not prefer not to give any comment. At least when they invited me here, they said I was going to about like
okay, so Twistle, what would you like to talk about? And this is, just to be clear, this is something you really do. You're not trolling, right? Because there are people who do that.
I'll say, like, one of the biggest misconceptions about furries in general is for animals.
Oh, you came here just to talk about furries? You're not even talking about SNAP benefit? This is a weird one.
I do not think I'm an animal. I know I'm human. There are a small subsection called Therians that identify spiritually with animals.
AI, the auto-generated subtitles doesn't know what a Therian is. He spelled it wrong.
That's one of the biggest misconceptions I've seen is that people assume everything for.
Okay. And by the way, just because I have to get the mic closer,
It's one of the biggest misconceptions about furry. Okay.
if you feel this, just let the microphone. I'm not trying to knock you. I just have to get close. So then, what is it to you? Why do you do the whole furry thing there?
So to me, it's again kind of like a reflection of my interests. This is a character that I designed.
Yeah.
So, like I didn't make this costume, but I had an artist draw out kind of what I had in mind. Again, the name comes from Twister and Crystal because I wanted to be able to express all of my interests all at once. The color scheme comes from weather, pretty much.
Yeah.
Blue rain, yellow lightning, gray, black clouds. And the shape in the middle of the forehead, the yellow one. I don't know if you see that. It's supposed to be a type of crystal, the analog plant.
I don't think this person knew what he was getting into. It's just like a dumb mistake, which you're allowed to make dumb mistakes. You're in college.
Kind of looks like an N64 era heart. It looks like a polygonal heart.
Yeah, it kind of does.
So I just thought it was like all love. But
like, probably it should just be, don't do it in the future. You never know. You never know how people are gonna try and spin or editorialize. You know.
okay, let me ask you this, Twistle. And the good thing is people want to know your identity, so hopefully you can shoot me straight. Are you one of these people you discussed? What percentage of your community would you say also have some type of sexual proclivity or being included in their identity as a furry?
So I would say that I can't put like any percentage on it, but it's not necessarily an insignificant number.
It's a pretty high number, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know, so I can't say any number.
Okay.
I honestly don't know, but I do know people that do have that side.
Yeah.
For me, I choose to stay away from it for the most part in terms of art, the costume.
But for the most part, so that means you probably experiment a little bit with
Well, no,
sex
like
stuff.
I have friends that are into that side, and I pretty much stay away from it.
What do you keep saying pretty much? Do you have like an experience early on in college or something like that? Again, no one will know.
I've never had any kind of experiences with the costume.
Okay.
I do not want to.
You don't want
Partly
to.
because this is extremely expensive. Don't want to get dirty.
It is a messy endeavor.
So I definitely stay away from not safe for work side.
Okay. Do you have the full outfit that goes along with the head, or just wear the?
I don't know.
You
Just
don't?
wear the head. I have hand paws.
Yeah.
And
Is that a cost thing where you kind of do it in installments and build it?
you can, or you can do it all at once if you have enough money.
Okay.
Depending on who you want.
Okay. Let me ask you, what type of intersect do you think there's like LGBTQ? Because a lot of people think it's now just a modern expression of gender, and I'll tell you this: a lot of people view it as degeneracy when it's an expression of.
A modern expression of gender. Okay, so Steven's like still stuck on the Therian thing then. I mean, depends how you define it, I guess, but like it's an expression of what you're wearing, which is not necessarily gender, right? Some things are. You can wear some things that are more associated with femininity, and that doesn't mean you're necessarily female. Right, it means you're dressing feminine, and in that same sense, you know, you can wear things that are more costume, persona, animal, right?
Of gender or sexuality, because those things should be kept in private.
What exactly?
All gender and sexuality should be kept in private, or just the expressions of it that you don't like, Steven? See this.
Say this: a lot of people view it as degeneracy when it's an expression of gender or sexuality.
I love when somebody says a lot of people, and then they just say their own opinion. A lot of people think you're a fucking freak. I wouldn't say that.
Because those things should be kept in private.
What exactly are you like asking me?
Well, you know, when you look online, you look at the furry community. There's usually a lot
What
of
exactly are you asking? I'm sorry, buddy. Did you not know? Maybe this guy doesn't know who Steven Crowder is. Hopefully he doesn't know who Steven Crowder is. Or they. I don't know if they said their gender. Or she. I don't know what they were expecting. If you show up with a fursuit head to any conservative Q&A, I think they're going to go that route.
intersectional sort of camaraderie there with LGBTQ, and they sort of tag along to it. So whether you intend for it to be or not, that is the perception that's by design from a lot of activists in the furry community.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that.
Furry is like 90% queer people.
LGBTQ is not at all an insignificant proportion. There's a significant proportion of the fandom that is LGBTQ. I mean, what they do is not my business, so I can't really comment too much on that.
Yeah, but if the furry community is seen as sort of quasi-ambassadorship of LGBTQ, because it's all about
What he's trying to get out of him is this idea of the slippery slope to his audience. Like, oh, now, look, we were fine with gay marriage, but now people want to dress up as a dog. And also he wants to like paint it as like, oh, these people want to marry their dogs. or something, right? So
breaking down societal norms, gender norms, healthy approach to human interaction. And I'm going to tell you,
societal norms, gender norms, healthy approach to human interaction. Okay, this is a big problem. I don't know if this thought is I don't think it's exclusive to conservatives, but a lot of it is very conservative talking head talk, where they take human beings as a statistic and they say things like two mother and a father is an ideal situation, so everybody should be straight, or you should just be happy with your own body, or like things that might work for even the majority of the population. And they might even have science to back it up in terms of these are healthy things for most people. But what it ignores is that not everyone is most people. Queer people are a small percentage of the population. Furries, even smaller. Trans people, very small percentage of the population. So you can't say, well, look at all the 99.9% of people that don't need to transition and feel fine in their bodies or whatever, and say, therefore, that should apply to you as well. Different things work for different people. If you apply blanket rules for life, like Mr. Peterson, if you apply blanket rules for how you should be living your life or expressing yourself or what makes you happy, that might work for the majority of people. But you shouldn't feel threatened that there are other people that aren't a part of the majority that choose to do things in their own way because they understand from their own experience that the things that they do make them happy, right? I don't think this person is suggesting that everybody would enjoy dressing up like an animal. I think they're saying that it's something that they enjoy doing. So, yeah, I don't like the framing of
societal norms, gender norms,
healthy human interact. You're breaking down norms, and the norms are good for everybody. So you shouldn't be able to be outside of the norm. Because then if other people see that you're doing it and you're having fun, they're going to think, I should do that. And then the next thing you know, it's illegal to not be a furry. I don't understand what their fucking issue is. Just at the end of the day, people are fucking punished for just being weird. And it sucks. People who already have a fucking difficult life, who already have a tough time, you don't want them to be able to have their own outlets that are healthy to them. No, you have to do only these outlets that I do and I approve of and that I like. Go fuck off. Fuck off. And then they call queer people and weird people the authoritarian fascists. You're trying to break down straight people. You're trying to abolish straight people while they're literally saying you shouldn't be in public.
Healthy approach to human interaction. And I'm going to tell you, I don't love it. But I also don't love people's positions on Snap and on illegal immigration. I think that I think a costume party, but I think walking around in society where people have to adapt to it is
What do you mean people have to adapt to it? What do you mean by that? What do you mean people have to, like... What do you mean by that? People have to adapt to it. People have to adapt to fucking Donald Trump being president. People have to adapt to anything. Are you being harmed by seeing someone wear a costume? Is that harming you? And then these people will pretend to have like libertarian worldviews. Like live and let live. Oh no, yeah, I know, but I meant you have to do it where I can't see you. You have to do it only in your room. How is wearing a fursuit any different from someone wearing a costume? It's not different than... Do you know how fetishized nuns are? Do you know... I'm willing to bet that there is more porn of nuns than there are nuns. I'm willing to bet that there is more sexualized nuns in existence than actual nuns. I'm willing to bet. You know how, like, I'm not even going to say the name. You know how there's that, like, Storytime YouTuber? And people were like, they found out that her subreddit of people making porn of her character had more subscribers than the actual person. Does that mean that Storytime animated YouTuber is a fetish? Does that mean that nuns are a fetish? Or does that mean human beings are fucking horny and we look at porn? Like, how many views do you think how many views do videos get on Pornhub compared to YouTube? I think humans are just fucking horny. So if I have to be comfortable with nuns being outside around children in churches where they're statistically more likely to be victims, then I don't know, something that's not a church. I'm making up statistics. Anyway, my point is, what are you talking about, Steven? This is not that difficult. Just chill. Just chill. Let people be
Adam,
cool.
Just wanted to thanks for everything you do.
Oh,
You've been a massive comfort watch for me.
Thank you, Leopard.
For the past 10 years. I hope 2026 is one of the best years for you both on and off screen.
Could be. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. We'll see. Yeah, so having to adjust to a fursuit in public. We had to adjust to Crocs. Crocs were a new thing at one point, right? That's pretty recent. Those are much more distracting and ugly than a fursuit. We've had to adjust to people wearing dumb AR goggles outside. We've had to adjust to, like, religion. That's like an entire man-made thing. Right? If you take a step back, remove yourself from things that have been normalized, and try to look at things in a way where you would react to it if you've never seen it before. The Pope's fucking costume is so silly. It's way sillier and way stupider than any fursuit I've ever seen ever of all time. The Pope Mobile and his fucking his weird hat. I'm sorry. You want to keep that in the privacy of your own home, Pope boy? Whatever. People, it's fabric. It's fabric. Who cares? Who gives a shit?
I do think it's pretty abnormal.
Well, let me say this.
Do you understand that?
Yeah. Furries generally do not just walk around this in their everyday life.
Right.
I only wore it here today because I was asked by the president to bring it.
Okay.
They reached out to me.
Why are you on camera with it? Okay, I'm kind of liking this guy a little less. This is very silly. Look, we don't walk around with this every day. I am only doing this because my president of the school asked me to.
Furries generally do not just walk around this in their everyday life. I only wore it here today because I was asked by the president to bring it.
Okay.
They reached out to me a few days ago, asked me if I was interested in coming down, and I was very hesitant.
The president of what?
Turning Point USA's OU.
Oh, okay. So they asked you to. So
The president of Turning Point USA YouTube? What?
I was interested in coming down, and I was very hesitant.
the president of what?
Turning Point USA
Oh my god, dude, you took the bait. You took the bait so hard.
is OU.
Oh, okay. So they asked you to. So are you involved with them? No. They just kind of know you on campus as like a furry person.
They sent me on campus because I was with a group of friends on Halloween. We were just walking around campus handing out candy. They took a picture of us and posted it saying, imagine people thought they could be animals, how scary is this? And I left a comment saying, well, actually, I think I'm an animal.
Yeah.
And then they ended up messaging me asking if I was interested.
But you have friends who think they do view themselves as quasi-animals, right? In the community?
They exist in the community.
Quasi-animals is very different than animals, also. I don't know what the hell... What's the point of saying that, even?
None of my friends personally fall into that category, but a very small proportion do. They say they have a spiritual connection.
Yeah. Or sexual. Like I said, it's not
It's so funny how hung up he is on sexual. Also, dude, you make content for religious people. There's not a single belief of spirituality and what it connects to that would be crazier than what's in the fucking Bible. Somebody saying, "Oh yeah, I've got the spirit of a wolf," is not as crazy as people that literally speak in tongues. They literally claim to hear a voice in their head. Not even kidding, right? A lot of evangelical, not even just evangelicals, but like people that talk to God. They're literally talking to a voice in their head, and that's normalized. That's normalized. Think about it. Remove yourself from the fact that we're used to something and think about it. Take a step back. Remind yourself how fucking crazy the world is. And then they see something that's not normalized, and then they try to make an argument for why it's bad. And there's no real argument because of all the other shit that's been normalized. My religion says you can't do this. Right? That's normalized. Is people who do that shit. My religion says you can't do this. So yeah, I do not judge Therians at all. In terms of other people's belief systems, it's nowhere near the craziest. Not even in the slightest. We have entire fucking churches and temples and tax-exempt organizations based around entirely more complex and irrational delusions. So who cares?
Fall into that category, but some, a very small portion do have, like, they say they have a spiritual connection.
Yeah, or sexual. Like I said, it's not an insignificant portion. Do you
I love how he keeps going back to that. Or sexual.
speak out against it a lot? Do you feel that you're kind of lumped into the same lot? Because that isn't common. If you're just saying, hey, it's a costume and it's art, I like Halloween, we do sketches. But when you have a chorus of people saying, hey, this is just as legitimate as heteronormative styles, by the way, we're tagging on with LGBT.
Who's saying just as legitimate as heteronormative? Like, what do you mean? Why would somebody be saying that unless it's in response to somebody trying to delegitimize them as a human being? I want to see this example of somebody saying, it's the same as normal heteronormative stuff. There's a lot about it that could be the same. Again, hetero people do role play sexually and non-sexually. Also, there's hetero furries that exist. Like it's
77 months. 10 too many, in my opinion.
Thank you, Euroboy. It's not the same as heteronormative down to its base level, removed from literally everything in the world. If you think of heteronormative as just pee-pee in vagina only for baby and that's it, then in that sense, yes, correct. It's not the same. They're two different levels. But that's not what hetero people do. That's not what any hetero person does. Maybe 10 on the planet. Legit. That's not what any hetero person does. No hetero people do oral. Or no hetero people have sex without having a baby. No hetero people do weird roleplay, dirty talk, dress up shit. Like, that's so normalized. It's just in pop culture. Like, it was in The Simpsons in the 90s. Anyway.
Isn't it incumbent upon you to say, no, that's kind of degenerate to try and thrust a sexual preference like this into the public spot?
I'm also with most cases of that happening are in a private setting. Whatever they do is not my business, and so I would just leave it to them to do it.
Sure, but if someone's running out in public,
yeah,
it is everyone else's business. Like, hey, why are you doing this?
Figuring it out in public is one thing versus.
We should ban straight people from expressing their sexuality in public too. Then who cares? That what are you talking about?
Yeah, right, but it's associated with the destruction. This, right? I don't want to talk in circles. The destruction of heteronormative sexual behavior.
What do you mean destruction? People make their own choices. Do they understand that 1 out of 100 or 1,000 people doing things in ways that they don't do, do they understand that they're still allowed to do things the way that they want? Does Crowder understand that he's still allowed to find another wife that he doesn't abuse? Yeah, like religion is way more destructive. Heteronormative shit has a history of destroying things that aren't that. Like Steven Crowder, dude, everything that makes up your fucking your aura, everything that you stand for and everything that you identify as has a history of destroying things that aren't that. So maybe that's why he believes that, is because he goes, well, I would do that. I would do that.
And people are kind of at the point where, like, yeah, we're less accepting of it because we live in an era where everything has become acceptable, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy for society. Costume is one thing.
What do you mean healthy for society? What about individuals? What about his costume is saying everybody else has to do it, while you simultaneously say you have to do what everyone else is doing? What are you talking about?
But identifying that way, and everyone around having like, yeah, let's just treat this like it's my friend Doug, is not really a good thing.
I mean, I don't identify.
If his friends accept him, why do you care? Why do you care if his friends accept him and treat him like my friend Doug? This is why furries hang out with each other. Right? This is why trans people hang out with trans people. It's not because we're trying to fucking exclude people, it's because people who are used to our existences, we don't have to feel like we're constantly proving ourselves around. We're just people treat you like your friend Doug. What's wrong with other people doing that? If you don't want to treat people that are different like your friend Doug, then people aren't going to want to hang around you. You do your own thing, and you can only hang out with you. If you only want to hang out with people who are not like that, then you can do your own fucking clan rally or whatever. You know, like just go do that thing.
Outside of whenever I wear it. Okay. Whenever I wear it is only to things like social meetups where other people are there, or conventions.
Yeah.
And conventions, I'll tell you, there's a side of them that almost nobody gets to see. There are some seriously positive interactions.
There's some seriously disgusting ones too.
There are.
Won't even let him have that. Won't even let him There's a positive side of furries that most people don't get to see. There's also disgusting ones. There's also disgusting parts that people don't get to. What are you talking about? Clearly, you've seen the disgusting part. You're talking confidently about a community that you're not a part of. So what do you mean most people don't get to see the disgusting parts? You've seen it. You're not a part of the community. What are you talking about?
There are conventions. Yeah. And conventions, I'll tell you, there's a side of them that almost nobody gets to see. There are some seriously positive interactions.
There's some seriously disgusting ones too.
There are.
I ended up
There's some disgusting interactions.
accidentally at WeebCon. Does that ring a bell? You know what that is?
I do not.
WeebCon? That's probably not a furry convention. That sounds like an anime convention.
Oh my gosh, I was going to an Easter thing at a Gaylord Hotel, and it wasn't Easter, it was WeebCon, and by the third S&M Spider-Man / furry, I was
Maybe it's weed, or is it weed or weeb? S&M Spider-Man Spider-Man. Someone's wearing a Spider-Man costume. You think that's a furry? You think that's a furry and a spider? Is he my dad?
Hey, Adam. Just want to say that I really appreciate your content and have been watching it for the past 8 years. Keep up the great work.
Thank you so much. Very social person. Thank you. That's crazy.
I hit the fire exit with my kids. So if someone sees that,
I hit the fire exit with my kids because there were people doing fetishy Spider-Man stuff that I called a furry at a convention that wasn't a furry convention. Thank you, Inverted Arrow.
Hotel, and it wasn't Easter, it was WeebCon, and by the
And also, if you're at a convention with your children and you're concerned about what they see, you should make sure to know what the guidelines are for appropriate costume and attire. Because if they were let into the actual convention center and had a badge and everything to get into whatever the venue, like to the, I'm assuming you were in like a dealer's venue or like a main convention center place. If they passed for what was acceptable for the convention, thank you, Olivia, then you're bringing your kids to the wrong convention, and that's on you.
the third S&M Spider-Man / Furry. I was like, I hit the fire
Why is it a Spider-Man furry?
exit with my kids. So if someone sees that, right, so they don't see the positive interactions, but they see the freaky stuff, right? Why do you think that's always on public display? Why do you think if I go
But you're talking to someone who's literally just wearing a fursuit head without doing a sexual thing, and you're trying to pin him as doing a sexual thing by doing a thing that's not sexual. You're trying, like, you keep going back. Every time this dude says something, you go, yeah, but what about the sex stuff? Like, you're the one asking. I don't think this guy brought up sex once. I don't think he brought up sex one time. You're the one that's obsessing over it. So, what do you mean? What do you mean? They only ever see the freaky stuff. But here you are, just talking to a dude with a fursuit head. Meanwhile, your brain is stuck on S&M Spider-Man at an anime convention, and you think, why do all furries have to be so goddamn perverse?
on X or Instagram, there's always some weird quasi-sexual energy with the furry community. How accepting do you think that
on X or Instagram, there's always some quasi-sexual stuff with furry. X allows porn. Right? Twitter allows porn. So yeah, you're gonna see porn of things on Twitter. I don't know. I'm not on Instagram. I can't speak for Instagram. Wait, aren't women hypersexual on Instagram? And like bodybuilders, dudes, and isn't there like an entire job of being an Instagram model? Like what do we Wait, should women be allowed around children? So yeah, okay. If you look at X and Instagram, furries are sexual, unlike everyone else on those platforms.
but they see the freaky stuff, right? Why do you think that's always on public display? Why do you think if I go on X or Instagram, there's always some weird quasi-sexual energy with the furry community? How accepting do you think that Americans should be of that? Well,
how accepting do you think Americans should be? Like, just treat people like people. Fucking let people do what they want if it's not harming anybody.
You could, what I would say is, if something like that was happening out in public, it's more likely to make news. For example, like, I'll tell you.
Well, no, but if they do it in private, but then they're dressed as a furry in public, people are going, oh, well, that's one of those people because they've made their identity
What do you mean?
being a furry, and that also is part and parcel of their sexual identity.
Yeah, I
Right?
would say that that's...
Okay. If Steven Crowder, do you dress up like another species when you have sex? No. Okay, so then your human sona is your fetish. So why are you out in public? When you masturbate and you think about what you're doing, right? Do you do it as a white man? Do you imagine yourself as a human white male? Because that, if that's attached to your identity and you're more comfortable in your skin, that makes sense. But other people who have different identities might feel more comfortable in other skin, different body parts. So it makes sense that if they're comfortable in that skin in a non-sexual context, they're probably also comfortable in that skin in a sexual context. That doesn't mean that it's a fetish, even though it very much is to some people, for sure. Right? That doesn't mean being trans is a fetish. The skin that you're comfortable in non-sexual environments is most likely going to be the skin you're comfortable in sexual environments. So if Steven Crowder imagined himself, if next time he was masturbating, it doesn't have to be him. It could be anybody that's trying to like actually exercise their brain and understand other people that don't understand people. If when you imagine a sexual fantasy or scenario, if you were to exercise and think of yourself as a different body, whether that be a different gender or like an animal persona, if you do that and it doesn't excite you, then you know that you, just as much as any trans, furry, or whatever, or any person that does feel comfortable in a different body, you also have a strict preference for the type of body that you have in sexual scenarios. Otherwise, it wouldn't matter to you. Otherwise, you'd be able to get off just the same. You'd be able to get off just the same, imagining yourself as like a different race or a different species or a different gender. If you can't, then that means that you put just as much emphasis on your gender, your species, your appearances, your body parts. You put just as much emphasis on that as someone who is a furry, as someone who is trans. But you don't have to do anything to achieve that because you're already in the body that you're comfortable in. You know, there's actually not a bad analogy to make because a lot of porn will feature like chiseled abs, big dick, right? So in a way, I think the average male experience when it comes to like pornography, whether drawn or otherwise, that fantasy does sometimes involve a different body. But maybe they just don't see it as so far removed where it's like, oh no, yeah, this is like the ideal version of my body. I want to be ab guy with big dick. But I mean, yeah, if you're more comfortable in that body, then you should understand how other people feel that are also more comfortable in other bodies. If you don't have a gigantic penis and a six-pack and every time you jork it, you think of that, then clearly you have that preference. Anyway, what I'm trying to say, people that aren't trans have a lot more in common with trans people than they think. They just don't understand it. They don't understand that they also have preferences for what pronouns people use for them. They don't understand that they also have preferences for how they appear and how they feel and look, how they're referred to. And the reason they don't understand this is because they've never had to be confronted with it.
That's where that misconception of everybody does it because it's a sexual thing comes from. Like, for example, whenever I was at a convention in Dallas, I did a presentation on how to find your own crystals. I had about 80 or so people show up. I had about 100 crystals on display. I gave away half of them. Everybody left home with one. It was strictly educational, and it was amazing. I had a really awesome time. People learned about rocks. I got to talk about what I was passionate about for an entire hour to a group of people that had no idea what that was beforehand.
I'm here to talk about the positive side of the furry community. I did a panel on crystals for an hour. There was no sex in it at all. I don't think that sex is bad. I don't think that sexuality is bad. I don't think that people expressing themselves in weird ways is bad. I think people need to get over it.
Yeah.
And there is a huge side of that that just largely goes unnoticed.
Horse.
Okay. So it's kind of more like a Rocky Horror Picture Show thing for you, where it's like you're.
It's like drag, right? That's the only way Steven Crowder can understand it, because Steven Crowder loves drag.
You're into this, and you think it's a reflection of art, and it's just something you do. It's not really who you are.
Yeah, it's something.
It can be both. I'm a big fan of reminding people that not everything is yes or no, not everything is black and white, that there's nuance to every conversation. Things can be yes and no simultaneously. That's an important thing to remember. A lot of conservative commentators do not like that type of thinking.
Like, I'll tell you, the number of times I've worn this this semester, is it's not something I do often at all. And it's only with other people.
Sure.
It wouldn't be an issue if you did do it often. It wouldn't be an issue if you did find some sexual satisfaction in doing it in sexual contexts. It wouldn't be an issue. That wouldn't be an issue. You're playing into their framework.
Other furries. Yeah. So you don't like wear this into class and expect everyone to act like, yeah, just no. And you would agree that like that would be weird and rude, and people weren't accepting. Like,
into class? I don't think anybody's doing that. Even in that weird Utah furry hysteria thing. Great video. Check it out if you're on the highlights channel. I debunk that shit. Even in that one, it was just like in the hallways.
You just come in this fur helmet in the middle of class.
I mean, it would be unusual.
You can't just. That's probably what Steven Crowder saw, and now he's using that as an example. Honestly, you can just wear that in class. You're distracting.
I wouldn't say anything, but it's not what most furries do.
It's not what most furries do. They
It's not what most fries do. Auto subtitles.
kind of keep it separate. Let me ask, what do you get out of this that you wouldn't get out of like art? Like that you don't get out of like say a painting, or like
What? Why don't you just look at Renaissance paintings?
making a movie or a poem.
But for one, I would consider
He enjoys it?
myself to be creative at all. I cannot draw, I cannot paint, I can't have a very, I mean, I've even tried like music composition, which I can't take, even though I play instruments. I just don't see myself as creative enough to do it.
The real question is just, you know, Steven Crowder, why don't you dress up like an animal? Same reason. Oh, you enjoy doing not that? Okay. The other person enjoys doing that. It's a thing that they enjoy.
Okay, so
It's so weird because I think people are just, again, stuck in like entirely wrong conversations even. You don't justify your interests, you know, you don't justify your desires. Those are things that you can't control. You can't explain them to someone else as if it's like an answer to a math question that they go, oh, yes, and then they start doing that. Is it? But again, I just have to remind myself, like, they see ways of living as like a prescription where there is a correct answer, right? Steven Crowder thinks that there is a correct answer for everyone to live their life in the same way. So they don't understand.
it's a reflection of art without the creative element.
Well, the creative aspect comes from being able to,
I mean, there is creativity in it.
like, design it yourself.
Yeah.
So, like, yes, I conceptualized this entire thing through an artist.
Okay.
I had an artist kind of draw out what I envisioned, and I decided I like that. It's a reflection of my interests, my weather, my rocks, and just from there.
Let me ask you this. And actually, I will say, I wouldn't quite say you're changing my mind, but you've clarified something. I've had furries, by the way, on the show who they were there to distance themselves from some of the, a lot of funny enough, not funny enough, but coincidentally enough, not a lot of death threats and radicalism comes from the furry community on the left. And I know Charlie Kirk had to deal with that too.
A lot of death threats and radicalism comes from furries on the left. I know Charlie had to deal with that too. What do you mean a lot? What do you mean by a lot? More than people who aren't furries? More than the farthest right people? More than neo boys?
But it sounds like your sense is a separate component, like people who might have a hobby. Community, right? It sounds like you find a sense of community. The sense of community is supposed to ultimately enable you to function more effectively, be less lonely in society at large.
Yes, it's a positive thing for people to be around and accepted by other people who feel the same way and who also like doing a weird thing and not being fucking harassed.
If you had a son, and he said he wanted to become a furry, and he was a young guy, would you be concerned because of the less tasteful components of the community? Would you think, like, hey,
Would you be concerned if your son said he wanted to be a furry?
great, just like getting soccer.
I mean, I would.
Would I be concerned if my son wanted to fucking go to church? Like, there was a Catholic scandal where, like, the organization itself was covering up, like, child bad touching. Right? Like, that was the organization in of itself covering up for it and enabling it and perpetuating it. Yeah, like there's concern that comes with anything. You know, if I were a father, I would be concerned about my kid not saying I want to be a furry, but if they were saying, "Oh, I met other furries online, and I'm going to go to a party with people I don't know," which is sort of like a natural thing to be concerned by. But it would be just as concerning if it were non-furries, Be like, wait, how do you know these people? Also, you're 4 years old. Get off the internet. What do you? How do you even know the word party?
I would offer like words of caution, just like caution with these kinds of things. But ultimately, I'd be supporting whatever choice you choose, and that's kind of what my parents say. They know, and they're actually very supportive.
Yeah. Okay. Twist, let's make it too personal. You don't have to answer. Okay. Hopefully, I've been respectful enough. Do you have a girlfriend or? Is it a girlfriend you've never met because she too is in a furry mask?
No, nothing like that.
Okay. So you know, okay. Yeah. All right. What's the biggest misconception about the furry that you would say? Right now, tell the world, hey, furries are not X or Y.
I would say furries do not think that they're animals.
Okay. But some do.
A very tiny.
Furries do not think they're animals, is what he said. But some do. Okay, well then, what? Conservatives aren't Nazis, but some are. What are you talking about? But some do. But there's still things separating that. Catholics are not pedophiles, but some are. How is that your response to anything? Yeah, sure. Some Catholics are pedophiles, but that doesn't mean people who are Catholics are pedophiles. Those are separate things. There's a word for what's being described, and it's Therian, and he told you earlier. So what are you talking about? But some do.
No.
Okay. So.
Oh. Thanks, femboys.
Okay. Yeah. All right. What's the biggest misconception about the furry that you would say? You can right now tell the world, hey, furries are not X or Y.
I would say furries do not think that they're animals.
Okay. But some do.
A very tiny proportion. Like you're taking a very tiny proportion and applying it to everything.
Yeah.
I know a human. I know a human the way I name.
Right. Okay. And that final question, because if I have a dog, the sweetest dog on the planet.
Sorry, this guy loves God too. That's why he responded to an email from fucking Turning Point USA director asking him to wear his fursuit to this, and he said yes.
Like you're taking a very tiny portion and applying it to everything. Yeah. I know a human. I know a human the way I name.
Right. Okay.
God. I believe in a sky daddy. Cool. Not cool? Animal spirits. Not cool. That's a Native American thing, isn't it? And like a Hindu thing, isn't it? Aren't there existing established religions and spiritual things that already incorporate animal spirits that these people aren't arguing about right now? At least specifically?
Final question, because if I have a dog, the sweetest dog on the planet, but I guarantee you if he saw you like this, he'd go apeshit. If a dog attacks a furry, you don't blame the dog, do you? Get it? If the dog is unnerved, it must happen
What kind of a question is that? What are you talking about?
all the time.
I've never had any kind of experience.
That must happen all the... What are you... Does Steven Crowder have a poorly trained dog?
For the most part, they're kind of scared.
Yeah?
And, I mean, my cat's going to freak out the first time.
Okay, there you go. So take a cat at 120 pounds of a kitten. My dog would not like it. He didn't like some people, they were working on the lawn with gators over their face, and he, like, it's the one time I saw him not like it, this would drive him nuts. So as long as you understand that, I don't want furries going around blaming having dogs euthanized because they have to be like, hey.
What kind of weird fantasy scenario... I just want to make sure furries aren't advocating for dogs to be euthanized because they barked at their costume or attacked. I just want to make sure, as if that's a thing that has ever happened. Steven Crowder, if that's a thing that has ever happened, no matter how insignificant, you would know about it because that would be news. Because when a furry does something, it's fucking news.
I'm not sure any kind of like that.
I guarantee you happens all the time.
Oh, one more thing I'd like to clarify.
Yes,
so furry conventions in general are actually one of the best things for local charities. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but usually every convention will be raising money for some kind of charity. A lot of the times it's like an animal shelter.
Yeah.
For example, one convention I attended in Pittsburgh, 2024,
Yeah.
she raised about $100,000.
That's great.
Over that for local, I believe it was a shelter for senior dogs.
Okay.
And every year.
That's why there's like a healthy...
Turning Point USA people 100% hate Native American and Indian religions, though.
Thank you, Mr. B. Natural. Yeah, but they don't... They act as though the animal spirit thing is like a unique new thing to furry, you know? That's why I always draw comparisons between furry and religion, because it is providing a lot of the same benefits. Raise money for charities, you know, philanthropic, community, camaraderie, and then, you know, some portion of it, spiritualism, I guess. Yeah. Having a big, nice community
They do different ones with different charities within the area. These things raise tens of thousands of dollars.
All right. Well, I think that's a great thing. So, all right, well, Twistle, thank you. Hopefully, if you can see the hand, we got other people who want to come. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for illuminating the subject of furrydom, I guess. Thank you, man. Be well.
This was half of the video about. It was supposed to be about SNAP benefits.
I know we didn't really talk about Snap because the truth is there weren't that many takers, but Twistle was fun. It was the conversation happened. I mean, what, you think I'm not going to take the opportunity to talk with a furry who shows?
They wouldn't have blurred his face if he wasn't friendly with TPUSA.
To talk with a furry.
Oh no, that's his face. They blurred everyone else's face. They didn't blur. They blurred everyone else's face. Oh, Oh, that's so funny. They're patting him down because it's post Charlie Kirk.
The opportunity.
everyone that talks to him, they get a pat down. Not stupid. That's not stupid. It's a smart way to do it. Although there was some distance in the other incident. There was some distance. I don't think that was a close thing.
Shows up in normal human society. Of course
That's probably why they got the trucks parked that way. Is to make it so that you don't have like a good shot. Fuck. Jesus. What an interesting country.
That actually seemed like
What a cool, healthy country.
decent person, guy. Anyway, you know the thing. Please stay tuned for the next installments of Change My Mind.
No, that's absolutely why they have those cars like that.
Let me know what kinds of conversations,
It's to prevent attacks.
what topics you would like to see. Hit like and comment below.
That was odd. Before we stop talking about Crowdy boy, there was one thing in my notes that is kind of funny. I'm just grabbing a link here. So yeah, the main video they were debating SNAP benefits. Somebody pointed out on the internet that his company took out a PPP loan, which was the COVID thing. And it wasn't even a loan, like, because it was forgiven. So it was all free. $70,000 for 9 people. Doing internet content, so like doing one of the few jobs that wasn't really affected by the pandemic at all. $70,000 from the government while you're arguing against SNAP benefits. So like food for poor people. What? You know? That is something to note. $70,000.
Before we get into the Patreon credits, I would like you guys to like the video, comment, subscribe, and use the bell icon to get notifications. We're, not doing great in the algorithm right now, and any help would be nice. Doing any of those will boost the video, and, you know, sometimes people, like, they don't even get notified when we post. Which I've been seeing comments like complaining about that, so please turn on notifications. Anyway, here are the patrons for December 2025. These are everybody who donates $5 and up. Dizzy Sauce Rumsfeld and Letterbox, Jordan A, Toby White, Blank, Anchor Wolf, Archeolix, Clarice Carlson, Cypress, D the Rabbit, Electrica is so bad at games they used a broken control stick to beat Sans Undertale, Emil, Gabriel Herrera, Gezro, Happy the Knife, Lemonade Warriors participating in the hit game Among Us is considered the encroacher, Lobsterite, Modern Nerd, Narichbin, Oh Here She Comes, Osmond, Roxy's Inside Your Wall. You can lure her out with information on when the second season of the TED TV series is releasing. Saliv88, Skanat On, Tammy, The Flying Marlin, The Super One Player, T King, www.openclassextras.com, yup, and Zachary Kane. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video. Check me out on Twitch if you want. Link in the description. Happy holidays!